everybody, it's Paul Sun Hyung Lee here live from Los Angeles, broadcasting to you from the lovely Westdrift, Manhattan. I hope everyone's okay. Can everybody hear me? That's my biggest fear now, ever since the last sort of snafu from before. Had a great opening planned out, did a little song and dance number, and of course the microphone wasn't working. So I am calling out to all you right now, right in the comment section. I know it's super professional, but I just want to make sure that you can hear me on this. So can you hear me is the biggest question. So far I see a lot of comments here. There you go, Tommy K's in the house, but nobody's answering my question. I guess there's a bit of a lag. There is a bit of a lag. Hotel internet, oh no. This is what happens. This is what happens. Fuck. First bomb. Alright. It's buffering. It's buffering. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Let's see what's happening here. No sounds. No sounds. Oh no. EV10. What's going on? Am I bleeding, listeners? Buffering, lag, buffering, buffering. It's buffering really bad. Almost live. Hotel Wi-Fi. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Can't be easy. Okay, so this is what I can do. I can try to hop off and hop back on again, but then I don't want to screw this all up. I'm not sure. Oh, is it better? Is it clearing up? Is it clearing? It's worth nothing. Of course you can't. Okay, it's better now. So I guess the amount of hotel guests who are downloading pornography has stopped for now. So hopefully they're not hogging up all the bandwidth. This is crazy because, of course, last week, or the week before last, when I was broadcasting from here, everything was fine. So now everyone can hear. It's a little bit better. It's running smoother now. Everybody's good. It's improved. This is why I like broadcasting from home. And hotels nowadays, it's all Wi-Fi. There's no Ethernet cables anymore. I prefer that hard sort of connection, that hardwired connection. You get that, you know, instant sort of like they open up the internet speeds. But here we go. Looks like we are live. It only took about 2 minutes of absolute panic on my part. And all I did was just sit here and complain about it, which is pretty much par for the course. But let's try this again. Hello, everyone. It's me, Paul Sun Hyung Lee. I am broadcasting to you live from Los Angeles, more specifically from the Westdrift, Manhattan, in Manhattan Beach in Los Angeles. Really close to the city of Hawthorne, apparently. And welcome to, in lieu of a Funboxing Sunday, we're doing an AMA, one more AMA. And now y'all keep coming back for it, so it seems to be, I'm just looking at these comments here. Can people hear me? Am I cutting in and out? Because this is very disconcerting. I don't want to just keep talking and okay, I'm seeing it's smooth. I'm seeing it's good. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna do an AMA. I'm really excited. It's nice to be back. I'm sorry last week I didn't get a chance to do a live stream because I was busy. Life got in the way. So In lieu of that, we're going to do an AMA. Everyone seems to enjoy them, so we're going to keep doing them. And hopefully I can answer a lot of questions that you guys might be having. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. Usually on Sunday nights, I do a fun unboxing where I open up a geeky collectible. I do a half-ass review, and we chat. Well, I've been in Los Angeles for the last 10 days now. And while I do have a couple of things I could unbox, it's just I don't have the setup here, and it's kind of like you know, going to the bathroom in the woods. You can get it done, but it's not as fun. So in lieu of that, I'm stockpiling things. We're gonna have a super holiday edition of Unboxing Sunday when I get back home. It's gonna be a lot of fun, just sort of unboxing those things. But for now, I think it's a lot easier, and it's fun too for me to answer all of your questions. So. That is that. So welcome. And if you are a channel member, of course, you can always, on the chat feature, you can drop a question there. I can't guarantee I'll see it because the comments are flying fast and furious. But there's also on the community tab page of the YouTube channel, Bitter Asian Dude Inc. You can go and write a question, leave a question in the comment section. There is a post about today's AMA. There's a whole number of questions there, so we're just going to dive right into it. But first, I'm going to say hello to everyone here. Of course, this is not the Bitter Basement, but you are part of the Bitter Brigade, and it's lovely to see all these names come up here. Starting with Ron Matsuda, Mel Dade is here. Hip Optimus Prime. I love that name. That's right, Mike. Take a drink 3 times. I saw that. I read that. I think that's a great addition to the drinking game. And for those of you who don't know, take another drink, because I just used that catchphrase again. For those of you who don't know, there is a drinking game associated with this. And that reminds me, I've got my beverage of choice. That's right, Kevin, if you're out there and you're laughing at me right now, no, I am not a teenage girl. I enjoy White Claws because they're tasty. They're low in calories, and they have just about as much alcohol as a beer does. So I'm not condoning having a drink, but I am an adult, and it is that time. It's 6 o'clock, and so it's Miller time. I'm going to have a drink. Oh, and I am in no way affiliated with White Claw is in no way affiliated with me. This is just a drink that I enjoy. This particular flavor is ruby grapefruit. But I digress. Let's get back to who else is in the house. That's right. There's Mike Wan. He's here as always. Hello, my friend. Hope you're having fun editing your podcast. Bitter Troll is here. We also have Chi of Steel and Joe Galati. Hey, Joe, how are you? I hope you're well. Hope the kids are well. Hope Marie is well as well. That's a lot of wells for there. We have as well. Oh boy, it's starting off great, right? Just a bit of a speed wobble right off the top. Jinpei05, how are you, brother? Sean P, my LA brother, is here in the, I'm going to call it the basement, I don't care. Here in the basement, we also have Thomas D is here. Vanessa C, hello. Kevin Lee, Angela Lee, my sister, my Nuna, she is here with us today. Aaron S, my good friend. We also have Joe Chufuk. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Brandy Woods from Montreal is here. Kevin Lee, I think I mentioned you, but I'm not sure. I'm going to mention you again just to be safe. My good friend Christopher Colvin. Anton Attard. We also have Toying Around Kevin is here. There you go. There you go, my friend. You are here. Kenny C3 is in the basement. We also have Daniel Sertle is here. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Cheers to you. Robert Jimenez is in the basement with us today. And we have 1,000 miles per hour. My son Miles, that's right. I granted him moderator access just so he could comment because he was feeling a bit bummed that he couldn't comment with the rest of you, and I made him a moderator because it was easier than having to pay for his membership to my channel. So it's kind of like that snake eating itself. It's like, no, we'll just make him a moderator. Noah, once we figure out when I can find out what his moderator name, like his YouTube channel name is or whatever his membership name is, I'll add him to the list. But of course, nothing can be easy. And so, yeah, he's going to have to piggyback on for a while, but this will happen. Chris Christie is in the basement. We've got Bad Wolf Media all the way here from Detroit. No, from Michigan, right? You're from Michigan. I think so. Yeah, from Michigan, not Detroit, but you are from Michigan. Colin Hollis, my neighbor, is in the basement here. John Carmen is here. Captain Crispy, Gary James, Tommy K. Shut up, Tommy. Oh, feels so good to say that. Feels so good to say that. For those of you who don't know, Tommy's a dear friend, and we just love saying shut up to him. He loves the attention, really, he does. Ian Duncan is in the basement, and Cynthia Lynn is here as well. Hello, Cynthia. And we also have some new people. I thought I saw a new name in here, which is super exciting. It's always exciting when somebody new jumps onto the chat, because that means it's a new member. Gabe Jones is here. And we have as well Joey Klebs just became a member, and everybody's saying hello to him. Joey, welcome to the Bitter Brigade Officers Club. So great to see you. I think you'll really enjoy the extra content on the website, on the channel. Go check the membership, the members only tab. It's great. There's lots of fun in there. And for those of you who are also on there, more content is coming. I promise you, it's coming. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. I'm living the dream. I really am living the dream out here. And, you know, a lot of you have been asking what's going to happen in the new year when I'm busy doing Avatar and stuff. The plan is to keep on the schedule. Funboxing Sundays is something I hold near and dear. I love conversing with all of you. This is something that I want to continue doing. And, yeah, it's just going to be, I think for me, a touchstone as well. While I won't be at home, I'll be doing something that I'd like to do at home. And hopefully I'll have a nice system set up in Vancouver so I can continue on the fun boxings on Sundays. And there's a little part of me that feels guilty because I have a little bit more space, which means more collectibles. Sorry, Anna. But, you know, little victories. Moving on, we have, I think... We got a super chat from Paul Williams. Thank you so much, Paul William. Thank you. And I believe Paul is a new member as well. So thank you so much. We have Tom in the basement with us right now. Oh, here's another thing. I am in a hotel room. These walls are pretty thin. The other day, I could hear people arguing. It was awkward. So I had to turn on music. So right now, they're probably listening to me having a ton of fun with all of you. And I'm not going to change it. I'm going to have fun doing this. So, here we go. If they start banging on the walls, I'll just lock the door. What's going on here? See, this is the thing. I gave Miles moderation. Like I said, I'm going to make him a moderator so he could comment. And the first thing he said, I shit you not. Take a drink because I swore. He's going to ban everybody. Mind of a 12-year-old. There you go. He was just tongue-in-cheek, of course. Pammy just became a member. Welcome, Pammy. Welcome to the Bitter Brigade Officers Club. We have cookies here. We don't, but we should. Maybe we should. That's cool. Welcome, welcome. And this is what I love. Okay, and so Paul William right here. Yes, thank you so much for the super chat. For those of you who don't know, the super chat is a really great way of donating to the channel. The money does not go into my pocket. It all goes back into... funding the channel, like getting really great collectibles and providing content for this. I do not make a profit on this, but this the super chats and the memberships actually help, so I don't take a loss from it. So that's perfect. And thank you so much, and welcome to the Bitter Brigade Officers Club, and thank you for the generous donation, Paul. All right. So, the Global Health Science Institute from Southern New Mexico is in the basement. Hello, my friend. How are you? Great to see you here. And, all right, here we go. We're going to dive right in. We have some AMA, some great questions here. Let's dive into it right off the bat. I'm just going to go from here. Going to refresh this. And kicking it off right now, we have a question from my good friend, Joe Galati. Joe writes, "Hi, Paul. My son Andrew is excited that he had a chance to meet you in person 5 years ago, and that you're now going to be Uncle Iroh. What can we expect from you playing this character?" This is the thing. Netflix is being very, very cautious because they don't want any spoilers to come out, and I get that. I totally get that. And I think all of you who know me know you can trust me not to spoil things for you, because a lot of the joy that I get is from watching people realize something for the first time and seeing it, fresh. So I'm a huge no spoilers kind of guy. But what I can tell you, without spoiling anything, is I will give the 100% of who I am and my abilities to create a character that is not only true to the character that everybody loves from the animated series, but a character that is well-rounded, believable, authentic, who still has that sense of whimsical fancy, that sense of humor, that sense of love, devotion, and honor. That is my goal. And for those of you who know my work on a little show called Kim's Convenience, you know what I'm capable of. I'm excited, a little bit scared of that challenge, but I think I understand who Iroh is, being a fan of the show too, and I, of course, have that respect and reverence for that character. We all do. Everybody who's involved with the show, it is something that we all want to do right, that we all want to do justice for, and we're all really excited to share with you all what we're going to do. And the thing that I ask for, as always, is just like, we've just started shooting. They started shooting November 16th. There are a lot of people who are, I think, concerned. A lot of fans who really have a hate on for the M. Night Shyamalan version of the film. This is not it, obviously. It's really interesting how protective fans are over franchises. And all I can tell you is, so far, I'm loving everything that I see. And as a fan, I'm really excited about what's going on. So you just gotta have to be patient. You're gonna have to watch that, and it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be cool. So all I'm asking is for fans to give the show a chance before they start hating, because I'm seeing a lot of online hate already, and it's like nobody's seen anything yet. So just this is why we can't have nice things, right? So a wait and see attitude is great, but I really think fans are going to be blown away by it. So there we go. Yeah, everybody's already talking about Miles' abuse of power. Miles and Miles of power. That's my youngest. That's my youngest. Okay, let's go. Next question is here from Kevin Lee. Kevin writes, "Hi, Paul. Glad to hear you're staying busy. A few questions for you. 1, what were your Christmases like growing up? 2, how did you learn the truth about Santa Claus? And 3, what is your love language and how are you at giving gifts?" And oh my God, you wrote an essay, Kevin. I'm going to see if I can answer most of them, but for expediency's sake, I might skip some. Some Kim's related questions. Do you still have the original Kim's Convenience play memorized? Could you recite a portion of it for us? Did you see Andrea while you're in Vancouver? How are things between you and Ince these days? Personally, how did you deal with all the negative attention about the behind-the-scenes issues that came out of the show after the show's cancellation was announced? I can't even imagine what you and the rest of the cast were going through. Wow. Kevin, we're going to rename you Barbara Walters because of the depth of those questions about Kim's Convenience, first and foremost. I'm going to answer the questions. What were my Christmases like growing up? They were great. We celebrated Christmas. It was a big deal for me, at least, growing up. And my parents, while they struggled financially, they always hid it from us, my sister and I. I never knew how hard they worked to hide that from my sister. And they did a great job. And I can honestly say, I never felt like I missed anything on a Christmas. Like the stuff that I got, I didn't get everything that I wanted, but no kid really does. But the stuff that I got is what I remember. I don't remember what I didn't get. You know what I mean? So Christmases were always awesome. And it wasn't about the gifts for me. I mean, it was a big part as a kid. That's what, it's loot. You're going to get presents and stuff like that. But Christmases I will always have a fond remembrance of with my family because my parents are still very loving. And it's a magical time. So I enjoy Christmas very much. Yeah, so that's my answer for that. For the Santa Claus question, well, you know what? There are younger members of the audience, this live stream audience that are watching, who still believe in Santa Claus, and I think the spirit of Santa Claus is something that is sacred. So I don't want to get too into depth about my relationship with jolly old Saint Nick, just because I want to be sensitive to some of the other viewers out there too, who have, who still have that spirit in their hearts. So I'm going to defer that question to later on. What is my love language and how am I giving gifts? I think I'm awesome at giving gifts. Honestly, I know Anna might disagree, but it's pretty cool because it's one of those things where I'm really good at giving people stuff that they would never buy for themselves because A, it's too frivolous, or at least for Anna, it's stuff that she thinks she doesn't need. And of course, it's like, that's the point of a gift. It's not stuff. The best gifts aren't always the things that you need. It's the things that you want but would never get for yourself. So I think I'm really pretty good at doing that. And you can ask my boys too, Noah and Miles, how I am at giving gifts. I think in terms of gift giving too, like Andrew Fung's a great guy that, a friend of mine that I think we're really good at giving gifts to each other because we're on that same wavelength. So I think that's really cool too. So I think my language of love really is, I think it's, I'm very vocal about it. My parents never were, but I am. I knew my parents loved me because their love language was acts. They would do things for me that I never really always appreciated or really noticed, but it was there, and looking back on it, it's there. So I got a little bit of that too. And for my boys, it's like, I think it's acts as well. It's doing things for them because you love them, right? Like, making their lunches in the morning, waking them up, doing all sorts of things for them that they might not appreciate at the moment, but maybe, hopefully 10 years down the road when they look back and they go, holy shit, my parents did that for me. I was lucky. They must have loved me. Miles, Noah, especially Mom. She does a lot, dudes. So there you go. Now let's go into the Kim stuff. You know what? It's funny. I just did a radio interview with CBC, and I felt a little bit ambushed by it because it was supposed to be about like year end. It was supposed to be about people who did the positive thing, and they asked a lot of Kim's convenience questions. So this is still really fresh in my mind. I'm going to cherry pick through some of this, but do I still have the original Kim's Convenience play memorized? For a while, because I had done it for, off and on for 7 years. I had it like backwards and forwards, and it was like, give me a couple hours, drop me in, and we could have done an entire performance in front of an audience, I think, and I think I would have come off okay. So there's that. Now, it's been a while. I think there are moments. There are little bits of it that I do remember. Obviously, there's that thing with one comedic bit with Alex and Janet where he's like, Appa saying, go give to him peanuts. Lots of peanuts. Peanuts with the skin, peanuts without the skin, big salty chocolate cover peanuts, big salty peanuts. Yeah, he's a good. So little snippets like that, I remember. So I just did that for you right there. Did I see Andrea Wells in Vancouver? No, I have not. My time in Vancouver was crazy busy, but I'm hoping in the new year, if she's up for it, like I gotta text her and see if we can get together because it would be lovely to see Andrea again. How are things between me and Ince these days? The same. Yeah, the same. I mean, I still love Ince, and you can be mad at somebody, but still like love them, right? So Ince for me, he's like my brother, and I would love to chat with him, but he's got to reach out to me too. So right now we're not talking, but I still love and respect the guy like to death. So there's that. I think with time comes perspective and stuff, but yeah. Things like, for me, I don't know how to really answer that other than just that. Yeah, like if he reached out, it's not like I would refuse to talk to him, right? So there's that. How do I deal with all the negative attention? You know what? it's like anything else. It's a complicated situation, and people read whatever they want to read into it. But those who know what went on. There's a lot that I think hasn't been said and doesn't need to be said right now. And so, at the end of the day, all I could do is what I did do, which is not wade into it by too much. And really, what I want to do with Kim's is remember and honor all the good things that Kim's did. Because I think with the controversy of how it ended, everybody wanted to focus on the negative things and all the things Kim's got wrong, which is unfair. I think it's unfair. The Kim's did a lot that was right as well. And I think the legacy of Kim's Convenience should be that. No show is perfect. Mistakes were made, absolutely. But they weren't done out of spite. It was, whenever you have a show that is the first of its kind, you're going to get that. It's going to happen. And I think the most positive thing that can come from it is frank discussion about some of the mistakes that were made, how to rectify them, and to move forward. That's how the industry grows. We can't be so polarized in terms of, I'm right, you're wrong, this and that. There's no room for dialogue then. There's no room for growth, because if you can't talk, if you can't have these hard conversations, you're never going to grow. And it's like that for politics too, right? When it's like, I'm right and you're wrong, there's no room for discourse. There's no room for critical thinking. There's no room for that kind of growth. So yeah, so I will always, this is how I keep it, is Kim's did a lot for me. I love doing Kim's Convenience. I love the people that are involved in it. I carry that with me. I'm very proud of the work that I did, and Kim's has afforded me a ton of opportunities, and I am reaping the benefit of that right now. So that is, for me, it's about going forward. And remembering the past fondly instead of focusing on the minutia of what went wrong, because it's pointless, really. Okay, wow, that was heavy. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm going to read some of these comments. Miles, I see your avatar in there, and I'm just wondering what's going on. PS5, that was actually in Tommy's basement. He's the enabler there. What is this? What are you talking about? John Carmen, he's saying peanuts. Yeah, peanuts. You like peanuts? Big crunchy peanuts? Peanuts is good, but if you have a peanuts allergy, it's very dangerous. Huh? Can't have a peanuts. Can make you sick. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. It's an Ask Me Anything, and if I didn't want to answer them, I wouldn't have to. So you're welcome, Kevin. All right, here we go. We're going to go to Melissa K. Hey. Now, she might not be on. I didn't see her thing. So she's going to be watching it on the rebroadcast, hopefully. So this is Melissa, our friend from Sweden. She's asking, hey, she's saying, hi, Paul. Glad you're keeping busy. I may not be able to make the stream this time. She's traveling again. Safe travels, my friend. But if I'm not, I'm sure to catch it afterwards. You better. Couple of questions for you. One, what sort of holiday traditions do you look forward to and mean the most for you? And two, any specific foods you associate with the holidays? And would you be willing to share recipes with us? Those are great questions. First of all, what holiday traditions do I look forward to? Well, really, the biggest one that I have is my parents and my sister come to our house on Christmas Day. And so it is my immediate family and Anna and the boys. And, it's, for me, that's become a touchstone. I love doing that. That's a favorite thing for me, to have my parents and my sister. And, we'll have dinner together or a lunch. And we'll sit and enjoy each other's company, as brief as it is sometimes, because my dad gets, he's like, okay, kata, let's go. But it's a lovely thing. It's a lovely thing, and it's way more relaxed. There's another family tradition where we go to my Uncle Joseph's house out in Mississauga, which is about an hour away, and it's kind of chaotic, right? Like, everybody's there, and it's great to see the family there, but it gets kind of overwhelming there sometimes, right? And it's lovely to see my cousins and the other family members and stuff like that, but it's like usually on a Christmas Eve, you're going to drive out in the middle of the snow to get there and then drive back, and it's kind of exhausting sometimes. And I love my family, but those of you who know what it's like to get together with family sometime over the holidays. It's draining, and especially if you have to travel out there. And we're appreciative because they open their home up to us, and they do a lot too. And that's like, so please don't think that we're being ungrateful, but sometimes it's just like, over the last couple of years, as I've gotten older too, I've appreciated just sort of the smaller, more intimate gatherings. And so it also makes me think that perhaps, we shouldn't just leave it family gatherings for once a year or for the big holidays. That it would be nice to just sort of do the small visits here and there instead of one big visit every year. So that's another thing. But yeah, so that's I'm really looking forward to being at home for the holidays and seeing my family, because I've been on the road for a bit. I was home for a little bit, which was great, but it's just like the briefest of time, and it was over so quick. And home is where the heart is. It's where you feel the most comfortable. Like, you can take a dump in peace. Sorry, that's the booze talking. But you know what I mean. Like, you just feel comfortable because it's your home, right? So you can do all that. So that is that is my big thing. Is I love that. Any specific foods I associate with the holidays? Baking. Anna is a baker. She doesn't want to admit it, but she bakes awesome cookies, and I love. That's the stuff. It's like the cookies come out and shortbreads, and her mom, my stepmom, oh my God, my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, she bakes as well, and that's the other tradition too, because we would go, my parents would come on Christmas Day, and then Boxing Day we'd go out to Coburg, and we would visit with my in-laws, and that's always lovely too, because the boys like going out to Coburg because there's an ice rink, and it's fun out there. So, sorry, Kevin, right? My friend Kevin is saying, hey. Toying Around celebrates 4 months of membership. Never apologize for wanting to poop in peace. Yeah, absolutely. It's a big deal. It is a big deal, right? Being able to poop in peace. Anna is okay. There you go. I got a text from Anna, and I thought it was like, "What are you doing?" But it's an old text basically saying, "Oh look, I'm on dictation right now. I'm going to stop that." Okay, here we go. Yeah, so would I be willing to share the recipes? I would absolutely, except I have no idea what those recipes are. That's all Anna. She's the baker. I cook, she bakes, and it's been great so far. So there is that. Oh, it makes more sense now because Pammy wrote, "Oh my God, I love backing," but I think she meant baking, and so I was like, well, I didn't understand what that comment meant. But yeah, no, baking that's for me is synonymous with the holidays. The smells that come out of the kitchen, because Anna's a really good baker. So I'm just gonna do that. Anton, oh, you did. Okay, I made this special. I didn't make this. I got this really great package of overlays from Ecamm, and they kind of knew. They must have known I was thinking about switching back to StreamYard, and so they gave this holiday thing. So here's, if you like Bitter merch, I'm not wearing any right now. I've been giving it away in Los Angeles, but if you want some Bitter merch, you can do this. You can get it here, right down there. bitterasiandude.com/merch, and you can get some. I think we still have a few con exclusive purple hats, the Representing Bitter kind, in stock, and. We also have the regular black, bitter, and represent hats that are there. I'm going to talk to my friends at Pigeon Row and see if we can't bring the toques back, but only if we can get them out fast to people, because I understand, and for those of you who have been very patient with the merch, thank you so much. It is a steep learning curve still about that, so we'll be talking about that a little bit later, but thank you so much for your patience. That's right. This is my sister. She speaks truth. Oops, that's not my sister. That's Cynthia. The thing shifted, but sorry about your stove, Cynthia. I'm going to see. There we go. Angela, my sister, said, yes, Anna is a great baker, and my Oma, she loves her banana bread. She's very good at it. She's very, very good at what she does. Okay, let's go on to the next questions here. We got one from my friend Mike, Bad Wolf Media. I've been trying to think of a really clever question that would either be witty or deep, but I've got nothing. Story of my life. So I'll just say this. Thank you for letting us join you on your many adventures and for being so open with us about the things you're doing. It's hard to think of clever questions to ask you. Oh, thanks, Mike. Stay safe, and I hope I have the chance to buy you a drink soon. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would absolutely love that. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to Vanessa C. You have a question. Here we go. Hi, Paul. I hope everything is going well. My question this evening is, 1, when you have to do an emotional scene that involves getting very angry / yelling or crying on command, what do you do to conjure up the emotions for the scene? I know every actor is different and curious what your process is. Do you ever go to New York City to audition for any Broadway shows in your life? Is the second question. Thanks, Vanessa. Those are great. Those are really great questions, and you're right. For every actor, it is an individual sort of process. People find things that work for them. Now, in an emotional scene for film and TV especially, I'm a theater actor, right? So my training comes primarily from that. And in my experience, for me at least, I always hate the stage directions when it says begins to cry. Because it's crying on command. And I think, or I like to think, that as a performer, as an actor who's playing a character, it's not like a magic switch you can flip and have the waterworks start and this and that. And if you can do that, I question how grounded you really are to the material and what's going on. And that's what I use. If I am to get emotional, if I am to get to levels of anger, it can't be sudden. It's got to be grounded. It's got to be authentic. And I have to get to that point or find a way to get to that point. But I always loathe that set of expectations of having to do it on command. That seems so, I mean, first of all, I think it's a construct created by the writers because they see a scene going a certain way, but the way a writer sees it might be different from the way a director and the actors who are performing it see it. So, first and foremost, it's got to be truthful. And for me, I think that if you try to make yourself cry, you're going to fail. Because you're trying to make yourself cry. And that's the thing. That for me, the key is, honestly, it's just being in the moment and being authentic to what's going on and finding the emotionality from the scene and not trying to create it artificially. I know for Kim's convenience, at the end, I could always not count on it, but because I would just exist in that moment so that in the play, when Jung comes into the room, I'm not like building up. It is the first time I've seen him in 15 years. And the first time hearing his voice. Oh, fuck, I'm making myself cry. Jeez. Take a drink because I swore. But and it's living in that moment. It's realizing that this is the first time he's seen him in 15 years. This is the first time he's heard his voice. He has changed so much. And that emotionality is really, really easy to come up because I imagine, what if it were my kids? And I had been estranged from them for that long. That would wreck me. So that's, as a performer, that's what I use. And performance isn't therapy. I think it's unprofessional. If you're dredging up feelings that you have not come to peace with, and you're using it to just sort of, I think it's irresponsible. I think it's dangerous. And I think equating devastating moments of oh my God, I have another drink. I have 2 drinks going on at the same time. Now listen, so if you're using that and dredging up the worst of your experiences to create that moment, that's not healthy. I don't think that's healthy. It's not crafted either, right? That's kind of a weird form of therapy, and I don't think it's safe, especially with the other performers. It's disrespectful for the other performers on the stage. So, there's a little bit of craft. I think there's a lot of bit of craft involved in it, but there is as well. You bring your emotionality and your own experiences to it, but they have to be from a safe space, so it's controllable, right? The last thing you know, you don't want to lose control of your emotions on the stage because it's unprofessional. So that's the way I look at it. So for me, this is what I conjure. And that's the crowd. That's the work that you put in as a performer to not on cue, but to make it real. And it'll happen when it happens, and you can't expect it every night because it's like, oh, here we go, and then the one night it doesn't hit or it doesn't land, you're going to be freaked out. It's like, why am I not crying? And all of a sudden you're out of that scene, right? So that's the thing. I think audiences, especially live audiences, they can feel it, they can read it, and they can know. And I've seen it too. Like somebody's like, oh, I'm acting really hard, I'm going to make myself cry. And like, you can see the work. It's like, oh, they're trying so hard to dredge up something. It's like, you know, I did this and it's terrible. And it's like, ooh, for me, that's schmacking. It's just like, you're not grounded. You're not real. You got to bring it. You just got to be in that moment and trust in the script, in your abilities, that it's going to come across as authentic. Because I'd rather have somebody who I see and kind of go, wow, they're devastated, without the tears, instead of somebody trying desperately to make themselves cry. Because that just seems like bad acting to me. So, okay. Your next question was: did I ever go to New York City to audition for any Broadway shows in my life? No, I've never had that experience. Lucky enough to perform just off Broadway with Kim's Convenience, but no, I've never. It's funny, yeah, no, I've never auditioned for a show in the States, and a theater show in the States. I can't sing or dance. I mean, I can sing. I'm just not a trained singer, right? But I can hold a tune, type thing. But yeah, no, I have not. But great questions. Thanks, Vanessa. Okay, we got some great chat happening in the chat. Thank you so much. All right, let's go on to the next question. We have here Paige K. Hi, Paul. I hope you're doing well. All the best. Thank you. My questions are: 1, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Ooh, or what's a movie you like to watch during Christmas season? 2, can you say how far along you are in the production of Avatar live action series? Have you started learning martial arts or firebending moves? And 3, who has great chemistry so far amongst the cast? Thanks. Great questions. These are great questions. The first one, my favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard. Die Hard. No White Christmas. No, I mean, those are great movies. No, Miracle on 34th Street. No Christmas Carol. Although, Muppets Christmas Carol is right up there too. I think I would fight you to say that's one of the best versions of A Christmas Carol. But Die Hard. That's my go-to Christmas movie. I know people who are saying, it's set during Christmas, it doesn't make it Christmas. Fuck off, it's a Christmas movie. I'm so sorry for any of the kids who are watching. I'm sorry, but it says quite clearly the live stream is not meant for kids. But I apologize. That was like, I'm crazy with White Claw. And hey, Northern Nerdcast is back. You are back. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming back. Here we go. Yeah, so those are my favorite. Like, Die Hard is it. Like I gotta put it on, right? Nakatomi Plasma around Christmas time, the Christmas party at the end. Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman breaking the mold with how villains were played for the next 40 years. Holy crap. 30 years. 33 years. 1988. Die Hard. Right? Is my math right? I don't know. Anyways, great Christmas. So that, for me, that is my favorite Christmas movie. How far along are you in the production? Well, they started shooting Avatar November 16th. I've had a couple of days on it so far. Yeah, so we're gonna for me, work starts in earnest next year. Just because of the Mayo commercial that I'm shooting down here. So it's like, that's a thing. Like, I booked this Mayo commercial a while ago, and so that's why I'm in Los Angeles. And I'm also in Los Angeles because I got U.S. representation. Very, very happy about that. I got to meet my U.S. agent in person, finally, which was great. And I have a number of friends in Los Angeles, and I got a chance to meet with them. Today, I was just up at Thingergy Prop Studio. My buddy Frank Ippolito, it's his place, so I got to spend a day with him, check out his prop shop, and totally drool over the stuff that he's working on, and the space and the equipment, and oh my god, if you're a maker, to have a shop like that, to die for. Chef's kiss. And also, I was here earlier on because I had a guided tour of Sideshow. Sideshow Collectibles invited me up to check out their space, so it was really nice to sort of to see, draw back that curtain and look behind the scenes and see the incredible facility that they have out there. So that's fantastic as well. All right, here we go. Kevin, fucking shit disturber. I'm proud of that movie. I had a good time on it. So, but would I watch it? I don't watch a lot of movies with me in them. How's that? Because it's weird. Okay. And go. He's getting white girl wasted. No, I am not. I can hold my own. I've only had like 3 of these. Hey, 3 of these is like 3 beers. So let's get going. You want to go? Let's go. Let's go. Okay, everybody's seen this. It's as lovely as it is. I find that gets a bit distracted, so I'm just going to shift back to that. And so now here we go. Okay. And your last question, Paige. Who has great chemistry so far amongst the cast? I wish I could tell you. But I've only been there for a couple of days, so but from what I've seen and heard, they're all fantastic. It's fantastic, and we can't wait to show you. And then, as fans, you can judge for yourself. But I think there's something really special going on there. So just be patient, and you'll see for yourself. Fantastic. Thank you so much for those questions, Paige. Colin taking a big drink. What's happening? Why? Because they swore? I don't know. Okay. Gary James is asking, Heather wants to know if I get the free mayonnaise for life. Thanks, Gary. And welcome to the channel, buddy. Good to see you. I hope so. I like mayonnaise. Great on French fries. Great on sandwiches. You have different kinds of mayonnaise. You can have spicy mayo. You can have like aioli, garlic aioli mayo. You can have plain mayo. I like mayonnaise. I don't like ketchup. Ketchup is a garbage condiment. It is. It really is. Mayo enhances flavor. Ketchup disguises it. Come at me. Come at me. Oh, here's the other thing. I've been talking with my U.S. friends down here, and I want everybody... I'm sending them a care package of ketchup chips because I want to see their reaction. I've said, I'm sending you a Canadian package, care package, ketchup chips, coffee crisp, Kinder Eggs, and I want you to videotape your reaction to the ketchup chips. So we'll see. We'll see. But in the comments... can you list my American and non-American friends and Canadian friends? What are things that are available only in Canada that Americans can't get? And I will see if I can put together a nice care package for my American friends down here. Space Cowboy. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. New member. Very cool. Welcome to the Bitter Brigade Officers Club. Nice to see you. Okay, let's get on. Let's move on to Ian Duncan. Here we go. Ian asks, "Hey Paul, great, glad to hear from you. Sorry I haven't been to the streams lately. That's okay. Life gets in the way. There's been a small schedule change at work. Anyway, my question is, what is your favorite food and why?" Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. I have to say honestly, if I had to pick one, it's a toss-up. Steak. Love steak. I apologize to my vegan friends out there. I just love the flavor of the meat. Like a good steak. I love cooking steak. Different ways of cooking it. I love a good prime rib. We got a sous vide that I'm gonna be doing a review on as well. Sous vide cooking is a bit of a game changer, which is great. But I love steak, and one of my traditions is whenever I go to a different city or a new city, the first meal I gotta have is gotta be steak dinner. It started when we were touring Kim's, and it's something that I enjoy to this day. So I love steak, and like a close second place is fried chicken. I know it's terrible, but yeah, I love fried chicken. And poutine. Poutine's great. Sushi's awesome too. Fish and chips. can't. It's terrible. But anyways, but if I had to pick just one, right there, I think. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. I've been drinking and not eating. No, but steak. Chef's kiss, right there. Thanks for your question. Thank you for the question. Okay, okay. Oh, I'm seeing Smarties. Joe Louis. All right. These are things that Americans healthcare. Can't put that in a box, unfortunately. There you go. Aaron S., welcome. Ketchup chips are gross. That's the whole point, my friend. He understood the assignment. All dressed chips. Really? They don't have all dressed chips? Okay. All dressed chips. M. Chavez, hey, welcome. How's it going? All dressed chips. For me, all dressed chips, I think, were made on a dare. They were made on a dare. Two people in a factory daring each other. Oh yeah, would you eat them if I put this flavor on it? I think that's literally it. Or all the scrap bits from all the other chips, you know, that didn't make it into the bags. Are like, oh, let's just toss them together. Somebody will buy it. That's for me. That's what all dressed chips are. Ooh, I got one thumbs down. I got a thumbs down. Somebody loves ketchup. All right. That's cool. Okay. Poutine, prime rib, poutine. All right, here we go. Next question we got from my friend John Carmen. John writes, love hearing video store stories. All right, here we go. I'll go first. The most overdue video at my store was RoboCop 2, which had been out for 5 years. Now that you work for the competition Netflix, and we know that it was fate, can you tell us your Blockbuster quitting story? Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I would love to tell you that. Blockbuster Video was probably one of the best jobs I ever had and didn't realize. Just because it is, I mean, you're hawking movies, man, and you know, other than putting up with jerky customers who are just like, you're renting movies, why are you so upset? And having to listen to like the corporate overlords to push, you know, rewards programs and this and that. Like, it was a pretty chill job, and you know, we got to talk about movies and watch movies and get paid for it. That being said, when I was making the jump to being a full-time actor, I needed to sort of, you know, Blockbuster was supposed to be a temporary job. You know, a year and a half later, I was like, I gotta go. It's too comfortable here. So you know, I remember putting in my notice, and I had a great manager. John, he's a great manager. Great other co-workers as well. It was a fun place to work, but I really needed to leave for my own good. I'd become a bit disillusioned with the corporate sort of like, overlords saying, you didn't sell enough, you know, rewards programs, packages, and you need to push the cell phones and this and that. And it was just like, oh God, it's a video store, man. I want to sell cell phone plans. So when I quit, they promoted me to shift supervisor, and that's basically a manager who has all the responsibilities but none of the pay. And I remember it was a good thing, and it's like I remember logging out and jumping on the counter, taking off my hated blue golf shirt with a yellow collar, bright yellow collar, taking it off and doing a dance and whipping it around and like putting it between my legs and pretending to wipe my butt on it. And stuff, because it was just like, and it was on a video feed. It was on the security cameras, but it was a lot of fun. That was fun. And then I immediately went out to with a friend of mine, coworker of mine, to Mosquito Mo's, which was a bar that was next door, and had a celebratory drink, or 2, or 3. But fun fact, that was also the same night I met the love of my life. So it's a pretty cool story. It was a pretty cool story. Because, yeah, I met Anna that night. And that's a whole other story. Anyways. But, yeah, that was me quitting. And here's another fun fact. So, Dian, who was he left Blockbuster and he became a bigwig over at TELUS. He kept me on the payroll. because he'd heard that I was going to be going off as, to be an actor, but he kept me on the payroll just in case it didn't work out, so that I wouldn't have to restart at a shitty pay level or this or that. He kept me on the payroll, and just like, which I think was a super cool thing to do, and I appreciate that. And Dan, if you're out there anywhere, I appreciated that. So thank you so much. Glad I didn't have to come back though, but yeah, that was cool. So that's my Blockbuster quitting story. All right, here we go. Colin, yes, right? You may as well have. You could have gotten paid. And that's the lovely thing about Blockbuster. When I was working there, you got like 10 free movies a week. You got to see the new releases before they came out, just so you could recommend them or not to customers. And also you got like the back catalog titles, just so, again, it's like knowledge is power, and like you can't recommend a movie if you haven't seen it, right? So that was fun. I really love that. Really love that. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Thank you so much, John, for that question. That was fun. Darren Smith. Okay, I found Kim's Convenience by complete accident, and I fell in love with a wonderful cast. And my wife and I were so sad when the episode happened, when we can no longer binge watch. I want to ask, when is the case Kim's Convenience continues being made? We all know you're busy, but the world is way out of balance and it needs some loving. All the best. I think the question is, are we going to make any more episodes of Kim's Convenience? And the short and long answer is no. It's done. I think the show is finished. Never say never, obviously, but I don't think you're going to see any new episodes of Kim's Convenience anytime soon. And I'm okay with that. And again, as much as I love doing Kim's, as much as it's meant to me in my career, I'm branching off and doing other things. So I'm very, very happy to sort of be where I'm at. And I say this, but I think Kim's ending the time it did has kind of been a blessing in disguise for me, because if Kim's was going on, I wouldn't be able to do shows like Avatar. So it's been cool. It's been really cool, and I'll always be thankful. But yeah, long and short answer is, not anytime soon for Kim's Convenience. But you still have 5 seasons of it you can watch on Netflix and on CBC Gem in Canada for free. Yeah, check that out. Okay. Thank you so much, Darren, for that question. Robert Jimenez. Hi, Paul. I just want to thank you for the content you provide. It's been something that is easy to follow. My son, Enzo, 7, loves it so much that we usually watch your Fun Boxing Sundays together when we have time during the week. Thank you again. I love hearing that. Thank you, Robert. And I'm sorry for if you're watching tonight, or if Enzo's watching tonight, and I had a bit of a potty mouth. I apologize for that. Yeah, thanks for watching. And hopefully next Sunday we will have a Fun Boxing Sunday back in Toronto. I'm really looking forward to getting back home and connecting with all you on then. But thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Rob Harriet, thank you. I am doing well. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too. This is what I love about the community. What we're building here. The interaction, the support, the humor. This is great. Thank you all. Thank you all for being part of it. It's very special. Very special for me. Okay. I'm going to go... I'm sorry. This bugs me still. The complete series DVD. What century are we living in? Why did they not release the complete series in HD? I mean, it's not too hard. I think the show deserves at least a Blu-ray edition. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. And I don't want to downplay people who have DVD players. Like, I get it, but like, everybody has an HD TV, right, nowadays, for the most part. They've been around for a while. DVD is, I know it's still being used, but a lot of people still have just Blu-ray players that are backwards compatible to it. I don't understand why they didn't release Kim's in high definition. We shot it in high definition. Why are they releasing it in 480p? Anyways, I just Just gonna move on. Move on from that. All right, Mel Dade, my friend Mel. Here we go. We are very happy for your new adventures. Thank you. I was rewatching some of the videos on the Kim's Convenience Facebook page and saw the one where you, Gene, Andrew, Nicole, and Andrew went to Soraksan for lunch. I was hoping to get there myself someday, but fortunately, they closed the business. Unfortunately, they closed the business. You had said that you had to go home to cook dinner that night. Question is, do you typically cook Korean food or a mix of Canadian dishes extra? What is your family's favorite Korean foods? Take care and we'll see you soon. That's great. Mel, great question. Yeah, I do most of the cooking at home. It is a mix. It's mostly Canadian food, but I do cook Korean food too. When the fancies me during seasonal times, like when it gets colder, it's awesome because we do some of the stews, like kimchi jjigae and sundubu jjigae, like cold, warm stews to warm you up on a cold day. Thank you NLSFC96 for this lovely super chat. You wrote, Paul, love this show. Have you seen Ghostbusters Afterlife yet? I haven't. I'll get into that soon. But getting back to Mel's question, yeah. So their favorite Korean dish is in the summertime. I cook galbi. You know, it is that's a staple. Everybody loves galbi, you know, I do it right. You know, I marinate it for as long as I can, and the smell that hits. You can ask my next door neighbor Chris. It's delightful, and yeah, that's their favorite too. But yeah, when we do, there's also I do a sundubu, which is a soft tofu stew, spicy stew. The boys and Anna quite enjoy as well, so that's great. And then we'll do bibimbap, which is really sort of a bit labor intensive, but it's easier when you go to Galleria and get all the ingredients that are pre-chopped and stuff. And boys love kimchi. The boys love kimchi. So yeah, but thank you for that question, Mel. Oh man, now I'm hungry for Korean food. Wow. Okay, here we go. What is this? What is for $78 Canadian? What is for that is the okay, I'm just gonna adjust this right now. CBC gets shit on far too much for my liking. CBC has always been a champion of the show. They're the distributor of the show for Kim's. They wanted a season 6. It's funny how people just want to sort of, you know, blame them for a lot of the things that went wrong. This CBC has championed the show for us, and they've always treated us great. And I'm forever grateful with the CBC. I love the CBC. I pack a CBC shirt whenever I travel abroad. That's how proud of it I am. They had nothing to do with those releases. This is all Thunderbird. Whatever deal Thunderbird made with E1 or whoever's making this deal, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's a cost thing. I think it's cheaper to just dump it on DVD because it's the cheapest format that's out there. But yeah, CBC, they have it on Gem. They're happy with it on Gem. But and I'm not saying that you're blaming them, Kevin. I'm not. This is not against you, but it's the overall feeling of, well, who is it? Like, CBC is the biggest target, but they have been fantastic champions for the show, and in fact, they really wanted a season 6 to go. And it was actually, it was actually the producers of CBC. Geez, now you got me saying it. The producers of Kim's who were like, we can't do this. We're not going to do this anymore, and you know, they had their reasons for it. So. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm still scratching my head over the HD thing. I'll just put that there because that's, again, it's like we're living in the 21st century now. Why is that everything should be in high def? So there's that. I'm gonna move on. Captain Crispy. Oh, you wrote a novel there, Chris. I'm so happy you're busy with these great projects. I hope they don't cause problems for Christmas. Thank you. I have a question about Kim's. I speculate about the unseen things on the show in season 5. They had Janet talk a little with Jung about how she was angry because he didn't let them know that he was all right. The writers never said it, but I also think she might have felt guilty because when Jung left, at least there was less fighting at home, and so in a way, she was happy he left. Speculation. So a bit of a heavy, scary question. You may say it's not up to you as you're not the writer, but in your opinion, did TV Appa put TV Jung in the hospital the way it was in the play? Both of your incredible performances in Handy Graduation made me scared. It was true. I'd never felt scared of Appa until that confrontation. Maybe just kind of an accident thing, like in The Shining. Don't hate me. I would not hate you. I do not hate you. That's a great question. There is, like in the play, he did. He absolutely Appa put Jung in the hospital. He mean to? That was more of an accident thing. But in the play, they fought, right? Like Jung, it's not like Appa just hit him and like this or that. It's like, as was recounted to me, if I remember correctly, for me, it's like Jung had been training in Hapkido and they fought, and so that was the thing. And so I think the TV version of Kim's was far gentler than the play version. And for those of you who know the play, you know it's a different family altogether, right? Like they're older, the family's been broken for a long time. Jung hasn't been around in 15 years. It's a separate timeline, man. We're talking about the original. It's like the Kelvin timeline in Star Trek, right? So there's the play timeline going here, and then there's the TV timeline that branches off. And in the TV timeline, Jung is still around. In the TV timeline, the family is younger. The TV timeline, Appa is not such a bastard. It kind of is, but he's learning, right? So the TV Appa could never become the play Appa because that level of growth is exponential in the TV show. That wasn't there in the play. So it is speculative what you're doing, but that's the fun part of it. Fans can speculate all they want about it. So it's one of those things where I think they had a big falling out. I don't think it came to physical blows. I think it could have. They're both very much cut from the same cloth, and I think that's where the conflict rises from. So I don't know. I don't think he did. I don't think he did, because there would not be that kind of a dialogue between the two of them on the TV show without anything being resolved. So yeah, and that's my take on it. But deep cuts on that question. I'm seeing a list of really great things here. Big Turk, Cadbury, Crunchies, Cherry Blossom Candies. This is from Rob. Here we go. Wonder Bar, chocolate bars. Oh, okay, that's a great list of stuff. All right. Thank you. Thanks. Captain Wrecked is in the basement. Welcome, my friend. It's about time you got here. Glad to see you. I saw a question here from Michael Valenz. Let's pull one from the chat. Do you have actors or actresses of whom you are big inspirations or idols to you? If so, what is the one thing about them that you connect with? That's a great question. That is a great question. For the longest time, Gary Oldman, he still is one of my favorite actors. I just love the way he could just inhabit roles and just kind of disappear in and out of them, much like a chameleon. I love his commitment to the characters too, and I just thought he was super cool, right? A lot of character actors that I really grew up admiring too, because for the longest time I thought I was just going to be a character actor, and so, but guys like J.T. Walsh, who worked a lot with Kurt Russell. Actually, he's in a ton of Kurt Russell movies. You would recognize him as soon as you see him. You recognize that guy. It's like he's not like a huge name. He's since passed on, but like he is like ubiquitous in my mind for like a pro character actor. Paul Giamatti was a character actor. William H. Macy as well. You're noticing I'm naming a lot of Caucasian actors, but that's who I watched. Like these are for me, there weren't very many Asian performers. But then, I became like a huge fan of Daniel Dae Kim, right? DDK, right there. Ken Leung, who I'm totally nerding out about because he's been cast as Commander Zhao in Avatar. I get to work with him, and it's like, people don't know this, but it's like I I named Miles, my Miles, after his character in Lost. Right? Lost is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So, Adam Spenceley, thank you so much for that super chat. Would you consider to be an ambassador for a local Toronto nonprofit? I would. I need more information, though. And I don't want to commit to something if I can't give it my all, my best. That's the thing. I don't want to. I want to make sure that because I think it's a big deal. If you're repping a nonprofit, it's got to jive with my beliefs. I have to really want I need to know the back, so I need more information. So yeah. But I need to know that I can commit to it and actually, I don't want to do a half-assed job, if that makes sense. I just don't want to mail it in and kind of go, yeah, I'm doing this. Like if I'm doing something, I want to invest my all into it. So yeah, I would. But thank you so much for that super chat. What was I talking about? Yeah. So other actors and actresses. I mean, obviously Sandra Oh, how cool is she, right? And she's become just like this, an icon, really, of Asian representation and talent and wit. And she's just so good. She's so crafted as an actor. It's amazing. But growing up too, I used to love my heroes were like Steve McQueen and Roy Scheider. Would watch their movies in a heartbeat. I loved Magnificent Seven with Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner in it too, right? It's just these were the dudes that really chewed it up for me. I loved it. So yeah, great question. Thank you though. Thank you. Here we go. There's a question. I see Jimmy Yee. Yeah, he is playing Appa. If they're doing a tour of Kim's Convenience on the coast, Jimmy, who played Jimmy Young in Kim's Convenience, he's playing that role. Fantastic actor. He's got such a unique take. It's his version of Appa through and through. Jimmy's a fantastic actor. I was lucky enough to see his performance out in Vancouver a few years ago, and it was lovely to see the play because I'd never seen the play before. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to move on now. We're going to go to the next question. I'm buffering again. Oh, no. Anna's saying I'm buffering. So I'm going to just have a drink while we unbuffer. Is it buffering? Still buffering? It was clear earlier, and now you're sober. Okay. Have I stopped buffering? Kenny C3 is back. I have something that I'm sending you, Kenny. Sorry. I've been in LA, so it's hard for me to jump back and forth, but I have something for you, which is great. So, Che Min-sik, absolutely love him. Love him. Don Lee as well. Ma Dong-seok is a new favorite of mine too. I thought he was fantastic in Train to Busan. I haven't seen The Eternals yet, but I'm a fan of his work. Benedict Wong is another actor who I really, really love his work. And Song Kang-ho is, huge fan of his work. And of course the other directors too, right? Korean cinema, has exploded. I remember watching it, that gateway for me earlier on. Watching Shiri first up, and then Taeguki, and Kwemul, which is the host. Those are things that are make me proud to be Korean. Squid Game, watching that series, it's just I just love seeing it. Parasite, right? So here we go. I think I'm not buffering anymore. I don't know. I'm just gonna push on. Should I get a drink? I'm gonna get just home. Oh, this is cool. Here you go. I'm gonna do this. Because I'm gonna get booze. Getting booze. Luckily, the mini fridge is here. Right. There we go. And I'm back. I am back. Back, and here we go. I'm back with a fresh drink in hand. This is natural lime. Okay, here we go. Next question from my friend Brian Schoenfeld. Hi, Paul. Always make sure to catch your live streams. Thanks. Thank you. I have a couple of questions for you. Feel free to only answer one since I know you have a lot of questions. Thank you, my friend. How was it received within your family, friends, and public when you began your interracial relationship with my wife? Ooh. And asking someone who also has an interracial relationship and just got engaged. Hey, congratulations. Good for you. To what is a piece of development regarding Iroh that you want to see shown in your live action show that was not shown in the animated show? Oh, that's a deep question. Okay. First of all, it wasn't a big deal for my family. My family, it was more, they weren't as concerned about the color of my wife's skin as her religious affiliation. And I'm just going to leave it at that because, yeah. So my parents are cool with it, though. My parents are cool. I think they're just happy I was with somebody, to be honest. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is the whole, I mean, my friends didn't care. You know, in public, I used to joke that, I used to joke because Anna she has hard contacts and sometimes she gets something in her eye. And like she'd start like, you know, when you get something in your eye and like you start to, you know, her eyes would water and it would be painful for her. And I'd be like, stop crying. Like if a cop car comes by, they're going to think the Asian guy's like mistreating the white woman type thing. And I'm going to get thrown in jail. And she's, oh, you better believe I'm going to start playing that up. So we would joke like little jokes about that. But it's never ever been an issue. And with her family, I don't think it was an issue either. We've been very fortunate with that because for the most part, everybody has been super supportive of our relationship. So, yeah, there's that. But congratulations again on your engagement, which is great. And that's a good question. What piece of development regarding Iroh that you want to see shown in your live action show that was not shown in the animated show? It's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say because it's just so, you know, Iroh, it was such a well-rounded character in the animated series. Like he's almost all there. And to give away too much of it would be spoiler territory. So I can't. I'm going to defer that and say I have things that I would like looked at, but I have fullest confidence that they will be addressed. So there you go. There you go. Oh, I just saw Criterion Memories of Murder. That's a great movie, and that's a great transfer on that from Criterion. And that's yeah, that movie's messed up. I mean, it's not messed up. Like the subject matter of what happens is messed up, but it's a great like South Korean cinema, baby. South Korean cinema. No, Tommy, this is out of my own pocket, just so you know. This is not like from the room service. But I actually went. That's the other weird thing. Being able to go anywhere and get booze. Target. I went to Target. I was getting a suitcase. And I saw White Claws. I was like, oh, why not? Alright, here we go. Joe. Oops. How did that happen? What happened? Oh, I pressed that by accident. Okay. Joe Chufuk. Hi, Paul. Thanks for doing this. You're welcome. I know you've been quite busy. Here are a few random questions for you. Ooh, random questions. Here we go. Do you have any talent that you consider useless? All of them are useless. In my mind. What have you learned about yourself since you became a celebrity? Oh, that's weird. Okay. So I'll try to answer the first one. Do I have any talent that I consider useless? I'm really good at remembering obscure facts about movies, which are completely, I don't know, that's kind of useless thing. It's fun, but it's kind of useless. It's not going to help me in real life, although it kind of has. So I guess it's not that useless. Being able to quote The Simpsons to fit any sort of weird situation. Yeah, that's quite the useless talent there. And then, what have I learned about myself since I became a celebrity? I hate that word, celebrity. I don't know, because I always feel like a phony when people do that. And then I think it's a byproduct of coming to this level of attention this late in my career. I don't know how. It's weird. It's just because I don't like celebrity, the word, like what's associated with the word celebrity, right? There are I've run into people who just want to be famous, and it's not because they don't want to be good actors, they don't want to be good athletes, they just want to be famous. And I think it's weird because social media is kind of filled with people that just want to be famous, and it's kind of like, starting this was never about fame. Maybe a little bit of fortune, but not fame. Like, I wanted to do work. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to tell stories. And I wanted people to watch the stories. So I guess there's a bit of that, but it's like, I don't want to be famous. I mean, it's nice. It's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still can't believe it when people do recognize me and they start to go. It's like, I can't believe it. But I think from what I've learned about myself too is really, and it's been reinforced, and I've always believed in this, is like, you have to treat everybody with respect. It's that simple. Be kind. That's been reinforced. Be more like, if you are in the public eye, then you have to be your best version of yourself at all times, which I think is a good thing anyway. What you lose, though, is that level of anonymity, so that if you make a mistake, you can kind of like, okay, I screwed up there. If you're a celebrity, it gets reported, or stuff that you say offhand gets misconstrued, and then so you don't get that buffer. So you have to be very cautious. Now, for me, what I've learned is I think I'm in like an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert, where I'm not seeking the attention, nor do I hate it as much as I admit it when somebody does recognize me, because it still tickles me a bit. Goes, you see my work, oh my god. And I'm still a bit sort of like, when people do get physically, like I've seen people shaking, and for me it's just like, wow, it's kind of cool, but kind of like, I'm so not worth it, but thank you for that. So that was, that's what I've learned, is just, I'm a Leo. I like attention at times, but sometimes I think it's like, the imposter syndrome in me is like, I'm glad you like the show, I'm glad you like the work, but I'm really not that great in it. But I mean, I'm rambling now. This is really dumb. This is a dumb question. Not a dumb question. It's a dumb answer to your question. Because I don't think I fully processed it myself, what this is all about. And so I just continue to do what I try to teach my boys, what I try to tell other actors, who, when you're put in the spotlight, is to always be kind, and stay true to yourself, and to have you're allowed to have boundaries too. Have those boundaries, because you need to as well protect yourself. I'm comfortable with the boundaries that I've set, and I'm open with people. I'm like, if you want to say hi, say hi. If you want to take a picture, because this is the gratitude I feel towards how they see me is something that I appreciate, and so that's me giving back as well. It's just, and as a fan, I get that too. So, yeah, no, I think that's the answer. Sorry, I just saw another question here too. Do you consider yourself to be at your best version? I try. I try. I think, like all things too, I think there's room for improvement. I think there are things that I do that I'm very proud of. I think how I carry myself when I'm at work, I take pride in, and I believe in it, and I'm genuine too. It's not like here's a gimmick to get everybody to like you or this or that. Like this is I truly believe in that, and I'm as authentic as I can be and truthful when I want to connect with people when I'm working on set, because I enjoy that, and I enjoy connecting with people. So that for me is something. That being said, I think nobody's perfect, and I always think there's room for growth, and I think there's room for me to sort of be a bit more mindful in terms of other people's journeys too, and perhaps not be as quick to judge if they're rude to me or this or that. It is that whole idea of everybody's carrying some kind of burden, and you might be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's not who they are, and you're just on that receiving end. So for me, it is about, as well, trying to be mindful of that. But at the same time, not to let people walk all over me, right? Because there is that too. So it's a hard thing. It's a really, really, but I try. I try my best at all times to be like that. So, yeah. I hope that answers your question. Like I said, I always think there's room for improvement. I always think there's room for improvement. And it doesn't mean that you have to, like, it's the effort that has to be there. If the effort is there to improve. I think most of us are genuine enough in our intentions that we know, the whole idea of do no harm and learn from your mistakes, and owning those mistakes is part of the process. So there is that. With your celebrity, have you had any issues with weirdos? I don't know about weirdos. I've met a couple of people who are, I think, socially a little bit unsure of how to behave around someone that they're like, oh, you're on TV and I know you, and I get that, and that's the part of the journey for me of just trying to be as disarming as possible and say, I'm just a normal dude, with a family and a dog, and it's just me, and I'm glad you like the show, but you don't need to. You don't have to worry about me being like, oh, don't look at me. Like, none of that. But at the same time, we had, I remember my wife and I, we had an Uber driver. And we're coming home late from a function. And he recognized me. And he was like, oh, you're that guy on that TV show. I was like, yep. He's like, oh, yeah, I love that show. I work at a TV station, this and that. So, oh, that's really cool. And, have this conversation. He drops us off at our home. And we go in and we put the boys were younger, we're putting them to bed. And I'm in my pajamas, I'm getting ready for bed myself, and the doorbell rings. And this is about 45 minutes later. And I go down, open the door, and it's the Uber driver. I'm thinking, oh, did I leave something in the car? Are you dropping something off? And he's all like, no, but I have an idea for a show that I want to talk to you about. And I was like, oh, you know what? I looked at him and said, dude, I'm putting my kids to bed. This is not appropriate, and it's not the place for it. And that is a violation of trust. As a driver, your job is not to come to my home 45 minutes later and try to pitch something to me. You've taken a piece of information that is confidential that shouldn't be used for your gain, right? And like all these alarm bells go off, and it's kind of... It was off-putting. It was kind of scary, to be honest. And Anna was like, "Oh, like, who was that?" I was like, "It was the Uber driver." She's like, "What?" And so she wanted to report him right away, and stuff. And like, this is something. And like I think he immediately, as soon as I told him that, he realized, oh, I made a bad decision, and he took off. But you're unsettled because it's like he knows where we live now. And if I report him and he loses his job, because that's a fireable offense, like, he knows where we live, right? And so it was just this whole thing about, like, what do we do? What do we do? And we're like, Anna's freaked out. I'm freaked out. At the end of the day, I decided, you know what? I think he's learned his lesson, and I don't want him to lose his job over that. And I think it's weird because it's in that 45 minutes where he's driving around, he's debating in his mind, do I take my shot and do I pitch this guy? Which is, I think at the end he made a terrible choice because I have no power as an actor. You can pitch stuff to me, but it's not like I'm a producer or this or that, so it's not like I could have done anything. But it was just like, yeah, it was very, very interesting, that whole that whole bit. But like we're because you realize you're very vulnerable. As open as I try to be, and as sort of grounded as I try to make myself with everybody else, it's just like, you gotta be careful. Because, you know, I remember I was at a Starbucks. I've told this story before. I was at a Starbucks up the street from where I live, and these three old guys are like, oh, yeah, you're that guy on that show, right? It's like, yeah, well, I am. It's like, oh, I've seen it. It's a good show. And I was like, thank you. And the other guy goes, yeah, you lived, so you've lived here for a little bit, right? And the third guy was like, oh, yeah, he lives on Springdale, didn't you know? And I was like, dude, I've never seen these guys before in my life. And they know what street I live on. And now you all know what street I live on. But that's like, people know where we live. People know where we live. And so that was interesting. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think we all make bad decisions from time to time. And I don't want somebody to lose their job because they made that kind of a bad decision. I think I sat on it, didn't report him, didn't do anything. And it's like, you look at it from his perspective and I kind of go, okay. But we did document it just in case anything weirder happened, but it didn't. And so, yeah. But that's the one that sticks out in my mind the most about that. So, and a lot of people think they're being weird, but they're not. It's just, anyways. But thank you so much for that. Okay, I'm going to, what else? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Colin, my friend Colin Hollis. Here we go. We are so thrilled by your adventure and can't wait to see the results, knowing that only great things lie ahead. Thank you. 2 questions. 1, apart from your family, who do you most miss about being away from Toronto? 2, what are some of your bucket list roles you would love to play, i.e. romantic lead in a Hallmark movie, etc.? That is so not on my bucket list, but thanks. Who do I miss? Who do I miss? I miss Podrick. I miss my dumb dog. And, you know, other than my immediate family, I miss him because he thinks I'm dead. Like, I know. He's just like, he doesn't hear my voice when we FaceTime. He doesn't hear my voice. He doesn't look at the screen. Some dogs are smart enough to see that and hear the voice and react to it. He is not. So I'm convinced that he thinks I'm dead, and I miss him. I miss my dog. I miss my friends in the neighborhood. You know, Chris, my next door neighbor, is an awesome guy. I just love that sense of community. Tommy, who lives the other street over, I miss telling him to shut up face to face. You know, just the other day, my friend, my buddy Brian and my other friend Jonathan, they went together and they had a drink at the Dillon. And I was like, oh, man, it would have been nice to have joined you guys down there. So, yeah, I do miss that. Good night, Vanessa. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a bit. Yeah, so there is that. I do miss that. And for what are some of the bucket list roles? I would love to be, honestly, I'd love to be in a police procedural as a cop. Like, and I've always loved, even though war is a terrible thing, but I've always loved war movies. I've always loved them. And so it would be cool to be in one of those as well. I don't know why. And a romantic comedy. A rom-com would be fun too. And a straight-up comedy. I'm being greedy now. That's just terribly selfish of me. But yeah, these are the types of roles, again, it's just like when you grow up and you play, these are the types of roles that I think as an adult would be fun to just sort of go through, you know. So I hope that answers your question. And it was a great question. Thanks, Colin. Miss ya. Hope to see you when I get back. That'll be nice. See you and Janet. Christopher Colvin. Hi, Paul. I hope you are staying well. I'll ask the obvious question. Did you see Ghostbusters Afterlife, and how much tissue did you go through? Second question, what keeps you grounded when you're in the midst of a busy time such as you are experiencing now? Thank you, good sir. That's fantastic. I've not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife. I promised I would see it with my boys. And a window of opportunity did not present itself in time when I was back at home. So we're going to have to wait for the holidays to watch it. This is, for me, from what I'm hearing, by all intents and purposes, this is something you got to see with your kids. And my boys love the Ghostbusters, and so do I. So I want to experience it with them. And Anna. Sorry, Anna. I mean, obviously, you are always part of that equation, too. So I would love to. I'm going to be hearing that. I know. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. Send help. What keeps me grounded? My wife. Honestly, my wife. She keeps me grounded. Being away from home is difficult for me, but knowing that someone is at home taking care of business gives me that measure of relief. And Anna does so much for the family, and she is best thing that's ever happened to me. Like, best thing's ever happened to me. So she keeps me grounded. We talk every day. We text. She keeps me up to date with what's going on. I get to share everything with her, and she's my best friend. So she keeps me grounded, knowing that she's there, and when I get home, I'll be with her. So that's what keeps me grounded at the end of the day. And booze. So much booze. But that's a great question, Christopher. Thank you so much. Sean P., my brother from Los Angeles. Thank you for being you, and there's no need to apologize. Oh yeah, I apologize for not being around, but thank you. I appreciate that. Bitter Brigade Nation is happy that you're busy with your craft. My question is, have you had any downtime while in LA? Have you had anything delicious to eat? It's been weird being here, because there's a list of people that I need to see and connect with, and I'm trying to, but with everybody's schedule, sometimes it's up in the air whether we can connect or not. I've recently, for the first time, started driving in Los Angeles, which has been very interesting. And I have to say, the drivers in Los Angeles, for the most part, are pretty skilled. I mean, they're courteous at the very least. If you bang on that signal, more often than not, they'll let you in. They'll give you that gap. Now, the window of opportunity to take advantage of that is short, because if you diddle-daddle, they're going to go, well, no, I'm not waiting for you anymore, and they'll go. But one of the biggest things that I was kind of intimidated about at first was like driving on the freeway. 405. Anybody from Los Angeles knows about 405. So, because it's a massive, 8 lanes of traffic going one way. So I jumped on that for the first time. I had a rental car, drove on it, and it wasn't bad. As bad as I thought. If anything, it's because it's so congested, it's slow, so you're not going super fast. Now, there were a couple of Mad Max moments on there. I'm not gonna lie. You know, when traffic picked up and we started going, and the two guys on the Ducati bikes went swerving in and out. You know, that's a bit where did they come from? And then the muscle cars going through. That was interesting, but for the most part, it's a car culture here. It's all cars, so people pretty much know how to drive. So it's been liberating in that way. It's I can now drive to Burbank from Manhattan Beach, which is in Toronto, to put it in perspective, it's like driving from downtown Toronto to Pickering or Ajax, right? It's about 30 minutes if traffic is clear. Traffic's usually not clear, so it takes about an hour sometimes. So there's that. Who's leaving? Mel, you're leaving. Good night. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. We'll see you on Sunday. Yeah, and so that's the thing, and it's that whole idea of, I think in my opinion, Ontario drivers, they take everything personally. They take everything personally. It's like they won't let you in if you signal to go in. Like, oh, you're not beating me, and then they'll speed up so that you can't get in front of them. It's this weird, awful thing. It's like, other places where like 2 lanes have to merge into one, you do the zipper, one car, one. You alternate, right? In Ontario, it's like, nope, you're not getting ahead of me because you got the guy that's gonna like cut the queue and go all the way up to the front, and whoever's at the front, instead of just letting them in, it's like, nope, you're gonna wait your turn. And so like that's where tempers get kind of nuts on that. So yeah, so yes and no. And with my schedule, it's been I've had some free time, but in that free time I've had to, because I've been away from home, I've had to take care of like paperwork, like paying bills and dues and memberships and this and that, and other bits of correspondence. So yeah, so I've had some, but not a ton. And have you had anything delicious to eat? Yes, I went to a Mexican place called Mercado, which is close to here. Had the carnitas. I can highly recommend them. It's a step up from Mexican food in Ontario. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it came in this beautiful chunk of pork that was just, you pull it apart and get the shredded pork from this big thing, and you make the tacos. And it was just like, I haven't eaten yet. I've had the liquid diet, but I haven't eaten. So I hope that answers your question. Bad Wolf Media Mike, you're saying, hey, I need to drop in at the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, preferably while Kevin Smith is hosting one of his live shows there. I was just there last night, and it's a pretty cool place. I will admit, it is a very cool place. Kevin Smith wasn't there, and I'd love to see him when he's there. I think that's a great idea. It's comparable to Stormcrow Manor in Tirana. Stormcrow's bigger, and I think the one thing about Scum and Villainy was I thought there'd be more decorations. To be honest, I thought there'd be more gack on the walls. But it is, for those of you who don't know, is a Star Wars themed bar, which is great. And it looks like the cantina, right from the booths as well. They've got the padded seats just right. So it was a lot of fun. So highly recommend it if you're going to go there. But if you're in Toronto, Stormcrow Manor, there are a lot of similarities, a lot of nerddoms that are crossovers there. So that was really cool. So very happy to finally say I was at the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Los Angeles. Yeah. Pammy, it's a good question. There's any country that you visited that surprised you with any cultural differences? Korea. When I first went there, many years ago, grade 6, I thought it was going to be like this third world country, and it wasn't. And that was like, for me, the beginning of my journey towards sort of accepting my cultural heritage and being proud of being Korean. Yeah. There's that. Okay, here we go. Oh no, sorry. Hit the wrong button there. I almost banned somebody by accident. It's not what I wanted. Okay, here we go. Damaged Queen. My question is, what are your holiday plans for this year? Do you fly back home for the holidays? Yes. That's the plan. I got to get home. Have to get home for the holidays. Yeah, I'm planning on being back home and spending the holidays with my family. And the plan is to just, celebrate Christmas with them and do our regular sort of get-togethers. It'll be just nice to see my family again. That's where I'm at. Thank you. Okay, here we go. We got... What time is it? 7%. Oh my God, we're running. Okay, I'm gonna have to fly through these now. Mike Wan. Why so many questions? Okay. Hey, Polly, hope you're well. Does your family have any Boxing Day traditions that you still do wish you could be doing? I've answered that, so I'm going to skip that. What is your favorite season of Avatar: The Last Airbender? Season 3. Incredible character growth from that. And, of course, it ties it all up. 3, if you could ask any celebrity like yourself a question, who would it be and what's the question? I'm going to pass on that one. because I can't off the top of my head. I want that deserves a measured response. 4. What is worse, being on an airplane with no windows for a 12-plus-hour flight in the middle seat, or having to eat a Costco-sized bag of ketchup chips because a nice ajumma offered it to you and you're too polite to say no thanks? Airplane, no windows, 12-hour flight, middle seat. If you've ever flown business class, you're never going back. Business class has ruined me. I can't. I would rather eat a bag of ketchup chips than fly in a plane with no windows for 12 plus hours in the middle seat. I would rather do that. But it's like saying I'd rather eat a piece of shit. Sorry. Which I would. And that's how much I can't go back. I can't do that. I can't fly in the middle seat. I can't do that with no windows. That's terrible. Terrifying. So I hope that answered your question. And 5, if you got to work in the MCU, which character / actor do you think it would be fun to interact with? I'm a big fan of Tom Holland. I like the Spider-Man franchise. It's the freshest one in my mind. There's this other guy named Simu. I've worked with him. I would love to work with, as well, Benedict Wong in the Doctor Strange universe. That would be fun as well. I mean, I think if you work with one of them, you work with them all anyway. So that's that. So that would be fun. And I would actually, I would love to work with, and this is kind of like a parallel, I would love to work with Taika Waititi. Love to work with him. I think he's brilliant. Okay, Chris Christie, next. Here we go. Hello, Paul, and thanks again for this wonderful channel. I found myself visiting Stormcrow Manor because of your recommendation. Wanted to know if you have any other nerdy places you can recommend in the downtown core of Toronto beyond retail stores to get your nerd on. Oh, that's a tough one because all these places that I like to go, I mean, there's a Hockey Hall of Fame. If you're a sports nerd, that's a great place to kind of go. The ROM is a lot of fun, as well as the Art Gallery of Ontario. I think the AGO, they had this great Guillermo del Toro exhibit. It's since moved on, but like when they have stuff like that, it's just like, oh, it's amazing. I went to see, GDT's, his own curated sort of display from his collection. He's got a whole house of collectibles. And that was fascinating to go in there. I went with my buddy Ray. And so that was fun. And then, but the places that I can recommend, I mean, Silver Snail. It's a great comic book shop. The Beguiling. I don't know if it's still there. Maybe they turned it into a freaking condo. Planet X, Queen Street West. Fun place. Treehouse Collectibles on the Danforth. I love that place. Like I meet up with my secret nerd group, collectibles group, and we often do drop-offs, and it's a great place to just sort of, if you like vinyl, if you like vintage toys, loose toys, hard to find collectibles, that's the place to go. Old video games. There's a bar on the Danforth called Z80, which is kind of like an old school arcade / bar. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. And I'm just trying to think. Face-to-face games on the Danforth too. It's got like an ice cream bar, and they have like a coffee bar, but they also like tons of board games that you can purchase. Pre-pandemic, they had like Magic card game, like you could play there, games of X-Wing, all these other great sort of, they would have like groups of people going in. It's big enough too, and it's wheelchair accessible that you could just get together with your friends and nerd out and play all these board games. Face-to-face games on the Danforth is great. So those are the only places off the top of my head that I can list, but they're kind of retail-y. And Stormcrow, you've already mentioned, so yeah. Sorry, that's my go-to for nerdy stuff, which is cool. Thank you so much for that. Okay, Tommy K. What one childhood toy did you want so badly for Christmas but never got? And did you end up hunting it down as an adult? Like I said before, I can't think of anything that I didn't get. I mean, no. Oh, I think maybe I wanted an AT-AT. I wanted an AT-AT, but my parents got me the Scout Walker instead. But I was fine with it. I still don't have an AT-AT though. But no, I got the Falcon. That was cool. Oh, maybe a TIE Fighter and X-Wing, but I got those. So yeah, TIE Fighter and X-Wing. That's it, problem solved. Man, being able to buy stuff as an adult, it's thrilling. Okay, everybody's, we're bleeding followers here. Viewers, it's almost, oh my god, I've been going for almost 2 hours now. Hope you all are doing well. We've got just a few questions left. And so I'm going to try to power through these right now. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. And this has been fun for me. I mean, I love interacting with you. I love the idea of doing a live stream podcast. I think Kevin Smith doing that out of Cantina, the Scum and Villainy Cantina. Maybe we can do something like that with Stormcrow in Vancouver when I'm there. I think that would be a lot of fun. I got a chance to meet with Terry Smith, who is he's the Strike a Pose guy over at Sideshow Collectibles. Really cool cat. Check out his YouTube channel, Terry Smith. Again, you can find him at Sideshow Collectibles. He does shows called So You Want to Be a Poser, Strike a Pose. He's their in-house resident expert at posing 1/6 scale figures. Awesome guy. I'm gonna have him on as a guest for my channel too. When you meet another nerd and you just sort of click, that's him. So maybe that'd be a lot of fun too. Let's do a live stream. Okay, I digress. Okay, I'm gonna move on here. Joy Klebs, hey Paul, love doing Kim's and your part in Mandalorian. Thank you. My only question is there a way to get an autograph from you? My girlfriend and I love you in Kim's and would love to get your autograph for her. Thanks for making me laugh during finals too. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, that's if you want to send me a self-addressed stamped envelope and return stuff and mail it to me, absolutely. You can go you can go onto bitterasiandude.com, put in a request, and I'll send you a mailing address for bitterasiandude.com. And yeah, send it and I'll sign it. Works for me. Hope that helps. Anton Attard, my buddy. I want to say, Paul, keep up the great work on the Mayo commercial. I'm so glad you are staying safe and busy. I consider you my good friend and a part of my family. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. I'd like to know if money was not an issue. What is the one thing you wish you had in your collection? You're getting me in trouble. Also, does Anna collect anything? And if so, what is the one thing that is a must thing for her? Thanks for being an amazing human being and being so open. Oh, thanks, Anton. If money was no object, I've been quite bald-faced about wanting an Ecto-1. 1959, Cadillac, Meteor Miller. Though that's a grail for me. I mean, to rebuild, and I mean, that's, if money was no object, yeah. Or an R2 unit. I'd love to build, I want to build one. I want to build an R2 unit. Yeah, fully functional. So that there's that. Yeah, so those are the two. Does Anna collect anything? She doesn't. She doesn't. Anna, however, loves puzzles, and she loves reading. But the lovely thing about Anna is she's very minimalist in her approach. So when she's done with a puzzle, she shares it. She passes it down to other people to enjoy it, which is cool. And books too, same thing. Like, she is so well read, it's ridiculous. And her family, they love sharing books and doing that. So no, the only thing she collects is memories of times I've slighted her so she can punish me. I'm just kidding. She's amazing. She doesn't collect, so I can. So I think that's it. I saw another. I saw another. Where is it? Where is it? Kenny's saying here. There's a guy in New Jersey who built the most beautiful ecto I've ever seen. He's living the dream. Yeah, that's great. I love that. I love that. I'm really happy with that. That's good for him. Good for them. Good for them. I just think, can you imagine the smiles on people's faces if you roll through a neighborhood with the sirens going like that and you're kitted up? Ugh. Chef's kiss. All right, here we go. Hip Optimus Prime. I miss you too, big guy. Oh, thanks, buddy. My question is, what is one thing you bring with you to remind you of home? Or the one thing you can't travel without? My prescription medication? No. Honestly, it's my devices. My laptop, my iPad, my phone. Just because I use that to communicate with my family. And we're living in a day and age where I can FaceTime or text or keep in touch with them. And so that, for me, keeps me the most grounded. It's that ability to physically, like, to see them and to communicate with my family. That's, for me, the biggest must. Because it's so useful, too. Like, on the plane ride over, right? I could watch, surf the net if the plane has Wi-Fi, right? I'll buy that, always. You know, or I'll download movies on my like, that's what I did. I downloaded Avatar on my iPad and I rewatched all the seasons again, right? So that, you know, that's their entertainment, their infotainment, they're practical, they're compact, and they keep me connected to my family. So yeah, I'm gonna say that. Good night, Pammy. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Bitter Brigade Officers Club. It was great to have you on board. Have a great night. We'll see you on in a week, next Sunday, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Okay, we're going to go Ron. Aw, thanks, Ron Matsuda. No questions. Just want to say hi. Hope all's well with you and your family. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you, too. And a Happy New Year if I don't see you next Sunday. Take care. Kevin Lee, where does Christmas rank amongst your favorite holidays? Are you a fan of the Star Wars Holiday Special? Besides the 5 golden rings, which of the 12 days of Christmas gifts would you be the most excited about your true love giving you? And how's the holiday vibe in LA? Does it feel wintry to you there, or do you prefer experiencing a traditional white Christmas? Great questions. Christmas is up there, not as much as Halloween. Halloween's become my go-to. That's for me. I love Halloween now. Didn't used to like it as a kid. Not gonna lie. I love it now as an adult. Christmas is second favorite. It bumps it down. What I love about Christmas too is getting presents for everybody, and not buying presents, but it's like the gift giving. That whole idea of like, what can I find to spoil the ones I love? And it doesn't have to be a present. It can be different things. So, and I understand that I'm in a very privileged position. But it's for me, it's fun being able to do that for the ones I love. Am I a fan of Star Wars Holiday Special? You know, when I saw it as a kid, I have to admit, I didn't like it. Because it was just like, what the hell is this? Watching it now, it's kind of honestly, I have it on DVD. I have a DVD copy of it. And I can't get through it. I just have to stop. So, I'm going to have to say no. Not a big fan of it. I mean, you know, watch it in an ironic kind of way, like, ha ha ha, but I can't kind of watch it that way. It's just so odd. So, yeah, not a big fan of it. Besides the 5 golden rings, which are the 12 days of Christmas gift, I think a partridge in a pear tree would be it. Because you get pears. I like pears. The 8 Maids of Milking would just be too weird. So, and the Lords of Dancing, again, where are you going to put them? It's just odd. But a pear tree, you could plant, right? So, that's what I'm going to say. And the holiday vibe in LA, it's weird because it's warm out here. Not going to lie. I've seen some houses with Christmas lights up. That feels weird with the palm trees. They're playing Christmas music on the radio stations. But it doesn't feel like Christmas season here. So take that for what it is. And do I prefer experiencing a traditional white Christmas? That's a tough one. I mean, Christmas doesn't have to be snow for me. It's family. It's being able to spend it with my family. And being sort of tucked in. I think Christmas for me does need to be cold though. And if it snows, that's part of it. As long as I don't have to shovel the snow, I'm happy with it. So hope that answers your question. Aaron S. Just curious if there might be some Bitter Brigade Zoom calls. Oh, that's great. Group, not individual, for members in the future. Yes. It would let you put a face to some of our names besides Tommy. He can just shut up. Top marks. Love that. I think that's a great idea. I think that is a great idea. And this is an idea that I had previously for it. And just because I got super busy, that kind of went by the wayside. But yes, that is definitely a possibility. It would be lovely to see your faces too. And to be able to just like interact live and have it be a lovely event for members. Yeah. And you know what, as well, I think it would be nice to sort of, I've been playing around with the idea too of like for charity draws or this or that, of doing individual Zoom chats with fans. So thank you for putting that back on my radar. I think absolutely that is a distinct possibility and a great idea. So thank you for that, Aaron. Ashutosh Prasad, sorry, mispronouncing. Will your look in the live action Iroh be identical to the animated show? You have to watch. You'll see. And I thought you let me know when the series airs. But I'm excited by it. Dan Alexander, hey Paul, I won't be online for it, but if you were to think of the funniest film of all time, for you, what would it be? Oh man, you had to wait 2 hours before I answered this question. Funniest film of all time. There's so many great films. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles comes to mind. Like, just that's the first thing off the top of my head. Maybe it's just because I recently saw it. But John Candy and Steve Martin in that slow burn is great. Some Like It Hot, great film. Kingpin, Farrelly Brothers, There's Something About Mary. Bill Murray just chewing it up in that was great. Him and Woody Harrelson. Something About Mary as well. Yeah, those are the ones. Oh man, there's so many. Stripes. What a great movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid. Yeah, those are the ones I can think of. I know there's a whole bunch. As soon as we stop and go, oh, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. But yeah, it's so subjective. But like comedy movies are, yeah. That's my bread and butter. That's my jam. I love them. There's so many. But yeah, that's a tough one. Good question. Christopher Colvin, new question. Can you make the Peanuts monologue a downloadable MP3? I think you can do that probably. But yeah, there might be some copyright infringement. I don't know. And Bitter Troll, final question right here I'm seeing. Hey Paul, when you got your new face hair for Avatar, did you have upper lip tan lines? No, I didn't, but it was cold. It was cold. And yeah, it takes getting used to. I'll see. And something I just wanted to clarify as well, just because this is a thing, like a website, like their byline, I guess it was for clicks, but like, oh, Paul Sun-Young Lee reveals his Iroh look. It's like, this is not my Iroh look, just so you know. They shaved this for Iroh, but this is not, this is how I look now. They had to shave this for the character. There's a lot more to it. And I think it's like, it's misleading. And the thing is, when people don't do their due diligence and they make these headlines that are a bit misleading to get clicks, the haters click on it and go, oh, that's not big enough, or that's not this, that's not that. And it's just like, you know, it just takes a little bit of due diligence to get the facts right on that and stuff. So this is because of Avatar. This is not the Avatar look, the Iroh look. So just so people are clear on that, I just want to. That was a bit of a pet peeve of mine. It was just like, oh, okay. I'm seeing here Caddyshack, yes, for funniest film. Harold and Kumar, Blues Brothers, yes. See, y'all are doing this for me, right? This is all fantastic. All right, everyone. It's time. 2 hours, 6 minutes. AMA. It's time for me to order some food. As always, I love hanging out with you guys. No, I love hanging out with all of you. I'm trying not to genderize things. But it is you are your foundation. We talk about what keeps you sort of grounded. Doing this keeps me grounded. Knowing that there's a community of awesome people out there that I can connect with keeps me grounded, keeps me honest, keeps me happy. So stay safe, all of you, during this time of COVID. Omicron. Who knew? Actually, the scientists did. So what I'm hearing too, it's like it's shifting towards the endemic part of COVID, which means it's going to be like the regular flu. From what I'm seeing, from hearing, it's less. While it is very virulent, it hits people a lot less than the other variants are. And so that's, get your booster shot, get vaccinated, get your booster shot. Continue your vigilance, wash your hands, stop touching your face, stay safe. Know that this channel is always a safe place. It's always a fun place where we uplift each other and celebrate nerds and geekdom. Couldn't do it without you all. Thank you again. We'll see you on Sunday. We're going to have the Fun Boxing Sunday of all Fun Boxing Sundays. We hit 15,000 subscribers. There's going to be giveaways. There's going to be holiday cheer. I cannot wait for next Sunday because I'll be home and we'll be able to chat. Until then, peace and love to you all. Stay safe. And remember, always be the best version of yourself that you can. Because, and even if you don't get there, the effort is what matters, right? I believe in you. All right. See you.